Well, let's begin our conversation this morning with the ACM, that is the Assistant Commissioner Uche Omeje, with this question. And because we have found out that most times we are most of the time reactive instead of being preemptive. And what are the current laws and regulations governing movement of articulated vehicles in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much. Funny enough, when you're looking at the movement of articulated vehicles, and I listened to the prologue before we came on air, the speed limits were clearly highlighted for highways and for expressways. If you look at it, you notice that for highways, it is lower than for expressways. And the simple reason is that within the highway, you have intersections here and there. A true expressway does not have any intersection. If a vehicle, if a traffic is going to cross it, it is going to use an over bypass or an under bypass. But it should not have any intersection. And because of that intersections you have on the highways, it is anticipated that the other motorists could actually bump into the highway without even thoroughly taking cognizance of the person that is on the major road. And so the speed limit is always lower. So when you look at, in terms of movement, the first factor you should look at is adhering to the stipulated speed limit for various areas. And even within this context of the highways, when you get to the built-up areas, you notice that the speed limit comes down. Just last year, the United Nations will come up with a different speed limit with what we have in urban before. Before, in the urban, you say 50 kilometers per hour. No, now it is 30 kilometers per hour. So it is expected that with build-up areas that motorists should adhere to that speed limit. The next thing is in terms of restrictions in various states, and this differs from state to state, and that is actually within the state laws. For example, if you are in Lagos, you notice that Western Avenue, there is a time belt for trucks within those areas. In FCT also, within the route in question where the 19th March incident happened, I am aware that FCT also have its own limitations in terms of when certain vehicles should ply that. I go back again to Lagos, where I spent most of my career. Yeah. You will notice that Awolowo, you will not see trucks there. It is prohibited that trucks don't use Awolowo. From Alausa, let's say radio, up to the Allen Junction, up to the Keja Bridge, you notice that trucks don't use those roads. It's delineated, no entry for trucks. So there could be specific restrictions like that at built-up areas and at certain routes. That is the movement in terms of rail movement within the context of the law. Okay. Now, what we have not been able to establish in Nigeria is, should we really allow, because of recent it has come to the front burner, should trucks really move during the day when other motorists are also on the road, or should they just move at the night? The argument is neither here nor there. For us in the road safety palace, if you say they should move by night, you're also going to consider the issue of response time in the case of an emergency. All the incidences we have had, you've seen how all the services, be the FRSC, police, VIO, and of course the fire service, you have seen response times improve greatly in recent times. And I doubt if we will get the same measure of timely response if it is at night. Then you also need to balance it with the security situation in the country within those highways too. So it is a debate that will not end if we continue to do it. Should the person have a breakdown, will he have mechanical help or not at that point in time? So I think within the context of all this, because I even read in the papers, I don't know how this thing, where they are pushing in the House of Assembly that it should even be, they should just move at night. But then again, remember also we are in the democratic setting, that people also have freedom of movement. So within the context of all these things, I think what we should be looking at is just in terms of...
What does the law say concerning their movement? Is there any specific time?
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. There's no specific times per se, but there could be specific restrictions from varies from state to state. And I illustrated it with the FCT and Lagos, you know, and these are just specific. But when you look at the general context of the law, you cannot restrict somebody from moving at any point in time. We don't have that law yet that says trucks can only move at night. There is fundamental human right. I'm sure we're going to go to court if we come with that also.
But would you